Alright, so if you watched my last video, you know I have a small battery leak, parabolic discharge, whatever you want to call it. So I wanted to figure out what was going on. Tried to get it, so I've been having to kind of jump start it using my little small battery, my little jump starter pack. And it run fine, it would charge it up, you know, the usual story, come out the next morning, it's dead. Gotta jump it, and then as I'm driving around town, it charges up, come home next day, you know, gotta jump it, blah, blah, blah. So I've been holding it on this guy, 12 volt charge overnight for a couple nights in a row. Came down yesterday, and the thing was hotter than shit, and it smelled like rotten eggs in my garage, which would be indicative of sulfur. So I unplugged it, the smell went away, didn't really think about it. Came back down this morning to plug it on because I needed a full charge. So plugged it on, went upstairs for a couple hours, came back down, got that rotten egg smell again, that nice sulfur. So I went back to check my battery, and my battery was kind enough to be very hot and very stinky. And I threw a voltmeter on it real quick, and it was reading 8 volts on the double battery that I had going on. So went to check it, and see if I can get this to do this on camera here. There we go. And it just kind of was sitting at 8 volts, and I felt it, and it was really hot, and it was kind of bulging out on this side a little bit. It's still extremely hot, and it's still kind of bulging out a little bit. The other battery I had in there was cool to the touch, nothing wrong with it. I actually just put the multimeter on there, and it was sitting at 10.5 volts. So I think this battery was actually draining the other battery. I have a feeling that these guys, it's too hot to open this up, but I have a feeling that these guys got nice and not wet. There's not enough distilled water in there is what I'm trying to say. I don't want to open this up and add a bunch of cool water to it when it's sitting at, well, let me get my thermocouple. Alright, holding it against there. We're in 104, 105, climbing. So yeah, that is not good. You do not want your battery to be that hot, especially on a 65-degree day. Hey Charlie's, love that produce company. I was a chef for many years, and those guys are the best. I really was just planning on doing a multimeter, pulling fuses, and then with that smell and everything, I immediately just kind of, it clicked in my head that something was wrong. And I was looking in here with my flashlight, and I actually saw a little bit of smoke coming up from the back of these guys, from the negative post that I have on there. So what I'm trying to do, I guess it's about 78 degrees. It's getting a little cooler. So yeah, what I had done was I had this guy hooked up down here at a nice normal cycle on charge, sitting at 15 amp 12 volt setting. The other night I left it overnight, and I had it on the deep cycle charge at automatic, so it would just shut off. And I know this is a good company. Century makes good stuff. Lincoln. This guy's been a powerhouse for me over the years. I can start my car just by plugging it into the household, so that thing's awesome. So what I'm doing right now is I'm charging the battery over here with my little guy charger, little 1 amp battery charger, trying to bring it up to 12 volts, so I can plug it into the system here. I think I'm going to go back down to 1 battery for sure for now, but as of right this second, I'm just kind of waiting on this guy to see if I can plug it into there. So I'm going to go ahead and reroute some of those wires and make it only a 1 battery system as opposed to 2 while I wait for that guy to charge up and for it to cool down. Alright, so looking at these guys, I don't know why you can see that, but they're all pretty good. This is the one I was charging. This is a super hot one over here. It's still really hot. But this guy got up to almost 12 volts on its own. Thought I'd check out the water level. As you can see, this guy right here has no sloshy slosh. So luckily I have a bunch of distilled water, so I'm just going to add a little tiny bit to this one and even less to that one, making damn sure I don't get any of this gunk down in the holes there. I got just the amount I wanted in there. As you can see, all of the gunk still in its original positions. So I got just the perfect amount of battery juice, as it were. So I'm going to go ahead and cap it back up. I got it back in there. Figured I'd just give it a couple more minutes of charge time while I tighten these guys down. It should be alright. Doesn't look like it's going anywhere, and I haven't even tightened it down yet, so I think we'll be all good. Go ahead and tighten that guy down, let it charge for a couple more minutes. Yeah. So I got it all back together. I'm gonna tie it up to this guy here. Started at 1180. And it's still kind of just dropping. It's doing what it was doing before, which is, you know, I didn't think it was the other battery. I'm gonna figure that out later. But for right now, I got a nice 12 volt battery here that is slowly losing power. Oh, interesting. Oh, no, there it goes. I saw it jump up to 6.5 for a second, so I was wondering. But yeah, it seems to just be kind of clipping down slowly, like that. So I'm going to figure out, hook this guy up and see what kind of milliamps I'm getting out of this. Alright, so that was taking a little while. It was only sitting at like 11.93 and it kept dropping, so I decided to turn the car on, and immediately I'm already getting like half a volt more. I was at like 375, now I'm at obviously 425. So it's definitely helping in that department. Yeah, I just checked it. I rigged it up for the amp test and I wasn't getting anything. I have a feeling it might have been either A, the battery, my initial thought that it wasn't, or B, the battery might have been too dead for me to actually do an amp test. So that's why I turned the car on, to see if I can get the amperage up and see where I'm at. In the meantime, I figured I might as well just charge my little jumper battery. It was the whole jumper kit and then it quit working. I don't know what the deal was, something with the switch in there. So I just ripped the battery out. Works great. So I'm gonna give this a couple of minutes, charge up here. The fan just turned on, that's why it dropped. So yeah, like I said, just give this a couple minutes here and figure out from there. I was just checking on this guy and I have flex to it as to where I didn't before. Before it was just bulbous. It's cooling down, definitely a lot cooler, but I can feel that I can push it in a little bit now, as to where before it was just bloated and it was good and stiff. So this guy's cooling down. Might be able to get this open earlier. I don't think I said anything earlier, but when I added the distilled water, I made sure I was definitely wearing eye goggles, because I don't like to be blind. I do wear glasses, but that can only get you so far. Back when I had the green car parked here, I was like an idiot. I just opened up the AC to pull off the AC compressor. Just opened it and it all shot immediately right in my face. Luckily I had glasses, or else I would have been seriously fucked at that point. Yeah, don't open an AC compressor with while the system's still charged. Whew, that was a mistake that I got lucky on, but yeah, it seems to be holding the charge. Or not holding the charge, seems to be charging good. A couple more minutes. So it's been about 5 minutes since I last shut off the video, which I'm going to do again right now. Alright, so it's been about 4 or 5 more minutes. Battery's nice and cool to the touch. Not warm at all in any spots. Up here, these are cold. Not warm. The wires are not warm at all. So I think that I'm going to go ahead, pull it off and see what kind of voltage I get, or shut it off rather. See what kind of draw I'm getting. Let's see where that puts me. Yeah, I'll come back in a second. Alright, so I ran it for quite a bit. I'd probably say maybe 7 or 8 minutes. Got it all the way up to, well, past what you're reading now. It's going at 14, so as soon as I turned off the car, it came down to like 12, 6, 8, something like that, and it finally rested at like 12, 6, and about every minute it comes down 1/10 there, and nowhere near what it was doing before, as to where it was like about every 3 seconds it would drop 55, 54, 53, like that. It was doing about like once every minute it would come down. It's been fluctuating between 50 and 52 for about 3 minutes now. I'll hit 49, I'll go 50, and I'll go 51, back to 49. I'm hoping that I have solved the problem. Thinking it was just that battery. Seems to be teetering there. We'll see in a minute. I'm going to do the amp test. I already did it, but I want to do it again now that it's kind of settled down. I don't have anything on. I even have my hood disabled. All my door switches are disabled, so I know it's nothing like that. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and try this amp test here. Alright, so I got this guy alligator clipped back here to the power extension, which just comes off the back of this guy. So that's pretty much the same thing as in there. And I'm gonna go ahead, I got my amp, 10 amp set here. Got my DC amps right there, confirm with the DC amps. So I'm gonna put this guy on here. And it's doing pretty much what it was doing last time. It'll do this and it'll suddenly drop down to, it was dropping down. Yeah, I go down to 3. Goes to 3 and then it comes back up to, basically it goes down to 0, or it sits right there at 2. So that's what I got going on right there. Yeah. Take a second and get myself a nice thumbnail. Boom. You always gotta remember to take time to get yourself a thumbnail. So yeah, sitting there, I got 2. I don't think I have any kind of parasitic draw. If I did, it would definitely be showing up as a 3 or 4, somewhere in there. You know, so like I said, I just keep doing that. So I'm going to hook this guy back up. See if I can get it. There we go. And yeah, let me get this set up here. Alright, so I got my little leads connected on here and here, and back over to voltage, back over to the appropriate slots. Floating at 4.4, 4.5. Yeah, I think I was at 4.9, 4.8 last time I was doing this. So I'm gonna let this guy chill for maybe a good half hour, 45 minutes. Kind of pack up some stuff, clean up, check it again in a little bit. See where I'm at in that department. Maybe I'll use that as a thumbnail. I don't know. Yeah, you can see it's still kind of going down, wants to, but I think it might just be settling, some kind of discharge. Let me see if I, real quick. The only light, the only electricity that's going in the car right now is this one little tiny LED. I really don't think that that's doing anything. I'm gonna hit the brakes a couple times. I can't discharge any kind of energy there. That dropped quite a bit. Well, not quite a bit. 12.42. Yeah, I'm gonna give it a little bit, kind of clean up. I got a bunch of tools to put away and whatnot, and check back on it. Okay, so it's been about 10 minutes. Got everything tucked back away, and it seems to be sitting at 3.3 to 3.2. So I'm gonna go ahead, give it a couple hours, and see where it's at after that. Alright, it's been about an hour and a half. Give it the old college try. Ugh. Not exactly what I had wanted to see. Definitely not what I wanted to see. But, I guess that means I get to, keep working on this, video, huh? See what else happens, I guess. Alright, so after about a week and a half of messing around with the battery, I finally decided to get a new one, which I did. I was kind of putting it off, and I was driving home, and I was like, okay, I'm going to do it, and I got lazy. And then literally 100 feet before the turn to O'Reilly's, an O'Reilly's commercial came on, and it was for doing your battery, and I was like, oh, alright, well. So I just turned on my turn signal, and then I went and bought a new battery. So I'm going to go ahead and swap these guys out, see if that is my problem, or if I actually do have a leak. So, which at this point I'm kind of guessing I don't, because my battery just kept dying and dying no matter how much I charged it or whatever. I just kept having to re-jump it using my little my jumper pack that I disassembled and turned into just a battery with clips on, which is working perfect. So I'm gonna go ahead and swap these guys out and see what's up. So I just put the old Duralast gold proven touch. That's like the $180, $190 AutoZone one that I kept replacing. I think this is the third one that I bought on the warranty claim, which kind of made me think that maybe it was the battery and not the thing. But it's been 3 years. I've done 3 warranty claims on that about once a year. Just got tired of doing it. I was going to buy an Optima battery, but I kept hearing different things about it. So I went to the O'Reilly's and got their Super Start Extreme, whatever. It was like their $180 one. It was like $230. I'm gonna bring that one back in for a $22 core charge. So yeah, I guess next up, check this guy. Oh man, these things these flukes will turn off on you, but they'll stay on for a good 10-15 minutes. So let me get this hooked up and see what it reads here. Alright, so brand new, straight out of the box here. It looks like it's holding 12.6. Let's see if it goes down at all. The other one that I had when I put it in, it was registering 11.5. Oh, it went up. That's interesting. Seems to be holding. What I want to see is if it goes down. I don't know. I'm gonna go ahead and give it a minute, see what happens. So it's been about a minute and a half. Just kind of did a little tidying up. This guy is not, it only goes to 6.1 and then back to 6. So I guess the next trick is to go drive it around a little bit and see if see what happens, I guess. Hopefully by tomorrow I'll turn this thing on and it just turns over perfect. But yeah, I'm gonna run to the store, see what happens. Well, I just finished stop number 1 and started right up. Alright, let's go to stop number 2. Alright, second stop. Started right up. I'm going home. I'm gonna test this guy. Alright, just got back from my triple run, triple start. Everything started up perfectly fine. Catching in at 14, 4.7, 4.8. Still got that idle air control valve code that I'm getting, which is cohesive with the revving of the motor. Yeah, I don't know what I'm expecting to see here, but $13.10. Let me check back in a minute. I just wrapped up a couple of little projects I was doing, nothing crazy, and it took me about 10 minutes and dropped down to 12.87. So I think I'm doing pretty good. I think that was my problem, was that the old battery just died on me, giving me all these problems, thinking I was having parasitic drain or something, but appears that's taken care of. Knock on some wood, get that out of the way. Yeah, so I guess that solves my battery drain problem. video hole that I had. So there you go. If you can't find the drain, or you don't feel like looking for it, just buy a new battery. That's what I did. Woo!